Welcome back to the assembly floor. You're tuning in to the Foundry by Forge College. Now, in our previous explainer, drafting comparative report sections, we were busy manufacturing all the individual parts for your Capstone project, right? The draft sections, those comparative tables, the metric justifications. Well, today's the day we finally pull out our metaphorical wrenches and bolt all those parts together into one sleek, high-performing final report.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our structured, entirely pain-free assembly manual. We're going to hit the assembly floor, structure the blueprint, drop in the engine, format the dashboard, run a quick quality inspection, and then, finally, launch.
So, first up, the assembly floor and our acceptance criteria.
Look, I know exactly what happens when you hit the final edits of a massive project. Senioritis kicks in, you are basically running purely on caffeine at this point, and you just want to hit export and be done with it. But listen, understanding your acceptance criteria, that's the absolute secret to an easy pass. Think of these as the strict engineering tolerances your report has to meet. Having an executive summary, linking your findings to actual evidence, nailing the specific formatting. If you just meet these conditions up front, your capstone is ready for instructor sign-off with zero agonizing back and forth.
Moving right along to Section 2. Let's see how this builds with structuring your blueprint.
Right here is our 6-step build plan. It is methodical, it's logical, and honestly, it works every single time. Step 1 is simply moving all those drafted sections you've got into one canonical structure. We're talking title page, executive summary, methods, findings, recommendations, and conclusion. Oh, and pro tip, to keep your narrative from just wandering off into the woods, make sure to add a single purpose statement at the very top of each section that anchors the entire document.
Section 3, the engine. This is where we link our evidence. Now, I cannot stress this enough. This is the most critical part of the entire process. A claim without evidence is exactly like a car with no engine. Sure, it looks fantastic sitting in your driveway, but it won't pass inspection. Take a weak, sweeping claim like Web3 is better. That means absolutely nothing analytically. Contrast that with Web3 demonstrates a higher data portability score, see Table 2. Boom! That right there is a strong, evidence-backed claim pointing the reader directly to the data.
I really want you to burn this golden rule into your brain. Every single declarative claim about decentralization impact must be paired with at least one supporting data point or citation. Please, whatever you do, do not leave orphaned claims wandering around your document looking for a citation. If you make an assertion and you literally can't back it up with data from your case study notes, you've got to soften it. Rephrase it as a hypothesis or call it out as a contextual caveat.
All right, Section 4, formatting the dashboard with your tables and metrics.
Think about it this way. Your dashboard has to be perfectly readable. Otherwise, your instructor, the driver essentially, is going to crash right into a giant wall of confusing text. Your findings section is the real heavy lifter here, sitting right around 1,200 to 2,000 words. Meanwhile, your executive summary should be a tight, punchy 150 to 300 words max. And when you're pulling comparative tables from your metric spreadsheet, keep them incredibly clean. Every single table absolutely needs a clear caption, source attributions, and methodological footnotes, so readers know exactly how you arrived at your scores.
Section 5, polish and paint. Time to tighten up that narrative flow. Okay, here's how we apply that final paint job to really make this machine shine. First off, write your executive summary last. Seriously, it has to faithfully condense your strongest evidence, no introducing wild net new claims at the finish line. Also, swap out passive voice for active, precise verbs. And always document your methodological caveats. Being honest about what your data can't tell us is honestly a hallmark of truly great analysis. Add a brief projection of plausible future technical and governance trends, get those citations perfectly aligned, and then, and only then, can you run that final spell check.
Section 6, the final quality check and inspection checkpoint.
You wouldn't roll a complex machine off the assembly line without a strict, unsparing QA check, right? So, carve out a solid 30 minutes for these exact tests. Do a document-level check to ensure all your canonical sections are present. Then, perform a stress test on your evidence. Pick 5 random claims and verify they securely link back to your metrics spreadsheet. Double-check for those required table captions. Trace at least 3 in-text citations directly to your bibliography. And please, don't forget the easiest point to miss. Format your final PDF file name correctly. Usually it's something like your name _capstone_web evolution.
And finally, ready for launch. Once you pass those quality checks, it's go time. Massive congratulations are in order. By exporting and submitting this document, you are officially crossing the finish line of the comparative analysis module. You've successfully synthesized an immense amount of qualitative and quantitative data into a cohesive, highly professional report.
So what happens after you hit submit and do a little celebratory dance? Well, with the heavy theoretical lifting out of the way, things are about to get very hands-on. Up next in the track is our explainer titled, What is a Blockchain Wallet? We get to jump right into practical, real-world concepts like secure seed phrase management and cryptographic key storage. It's going to be incredibly rewarding. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. How will the rigorous analytical skills you've just mastered, the operationalizing of metrics, the strict linking of evidence to claims, how will all of that change the way you evaluate future decentralized technologies? The next time you read some bold, sweeping claim about Web3 on social media, you're going to know exactly how to look under the hood and demand the data. Be proud of your hard work on this capstone, and hey, to keep building those analytical muscles and learn even more about Web3, make sure to head over to forge.college. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.